wonder what it really takes to plan your day at Magic Kingdom? Well, we're gonna find out. Join me. Hi friends, Laura Krumzak here with the Disney Slowdown, and today is a very special day. My friend Brandy messaged me earlier this week and said, I'm finally bringing the kids to Disney. Want to help me plan it? Of course I do. And for those of you who don't know, Brandy is the reason I started this YouTube channel. So I could give her all my tips and tricks and not have to repeat myself. I figured if she needed the tips and tricks, then other people did too. So if you have been a follower of my channel and you found it helpful and useful, and you enjoy the information that I put on here, you can put in the comments below, thanks Brandy, because she is the reason why this YouTube channel exists. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. This is going to be a little bit different of a video and probably a whole lot longer than I want it to be, but I'm just having a conversation with my friend and we are gonna plan her family's Disney vacation. So let's go. I'm just gonna talk to Brandy. Everybody else can just kind of eavesdrop and see what this looks like. The very first step in planning your Disney vacation is to go to the Disney World website and create an account. You're going to have to link all of your people. Once tickets are purchased, you'll have to assign names to the tickets. Any adults in your party or any friends that might be there while you are or whatever, all the adults are going to have to link through email. It's not a terrible process, but it's not something you want to wait to do, especially when you're driving down here and you're just going to be here for one day. I would just get that done ahead of time. So Brandy, I'm gonna guess, because we used to do this too, we would leave like in the middle of the night, put the kids in the car, in their pajamas, let them sleep the whole time. It's really funny, I was just thinking about this. In 2018, we took our first beach vacation with our two youngest ones. They were little at the time, and I ended up driving all night. We actually stopped at Lake City, Florida at the Waffle House. And who knew that a year later we would be living here? So if you do that same thing and you drive all through the night and you're like, I'm just gonna get to Florida and then I'm gonna wake everybody up and we're gonna have breakfast and then we'll finish the trip, you had better stop, you'd better let me know. I will meet you for breakfast. And I recommend packing a backpack, not just for your resort day, but also having a backpack for everybody for your park day. You want a reusable water bottle. You're going to want snacks that they can carry and munch on throughout the day because you know everybody's going to get hungry at different times. For the pool, once you get to the resort, especially if you get there before check-in time, which is what, 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you can use the pool, but put their swimsuits and Crocs inside that backpack. So when you get to the resort to check in, you can just send them over to the bathroom. They can change their clothes and the concierge will hold your luggage and you can go use the pool. And then when your room is ready, they'll let you know. That's going to be the best way. For anybody that's listening and they're thinking, oh no, we just pack it in our suitcase. Yeah, this is how it goes down with my kids. The first thing they would pack is their swimsuit because they're super excited about going to the ocean or going to go stay at a hotel with a pool. So that's the first thing that goes in. Everything else goes on top of it. And we didn't have it set aside in a separate backpack. So they open their suitcase and you can't just unzip it and dig down in. No, they got to lay it down, open it full on, and then they're pulling things out of their suitcase all over the resort lobby, just looking for their swimsuit. And that is a recipe for meltdowns in a very public place after you have driven all night to get here. If you know, you know. And I know you know, Brandy. And Andrea's watching this. I know she knows too. We're just a big club of I know. We need shirts. But choosing your resort, you said that your priority was to hang out by the pool, probably go to Disney Springs in the evening for dinner. When you travel January through May, and sometimes even into the summer, there are frequent pool refurbishments happening at the resorts. So if the pool is your priority, you want to make sure that you're not choosing a resort that has a pool under construction. You can go to another resort to use their pool, and there's always like a neighboring resort. But seriously, who wants to do that? Especially when you're only there for one day and you have just driven 12 hours to get there. My recommendation is that you use a travel agent. Yes, even to book one night. As long as you are booking a resort, then your travel agent can make that reservation for you. Make sure that you're getting a resort that fits your needs and your budget, and they can also book your tickets. It doesn't cost you a thing, and you're supporting a small business. So I've sent Brandy, my girl Daria's email, but it is in the description box below for anybody else who's listening. It's just a good idea. Your travel agent is going to know what the deals are, what the sales are, where the pool refurbishments are happening, if there's construction on a certain property. They're just going to know all of that. And there are a couple of value resorts that are Skyliner access. Since you're only staying one night and you can't get to Disney Springs by the Skyliner, you probably don't care if you're in a Skyliner resort. And those, even though they're value, they tend to cost a little more than the other value resorts. One of those value resorts I know I saw had a pool refurbishment. So just use a travel agent. My girl Daria has got you. She's amazing. Contact her. Her email's in the description box below. Bringing things with you that you don't have to buy when you are inside the Disney bubble is going to save you money and save you headache and time. First of all, do not mess with the Florida sun. Even when it's cold outside, the sun is shining. When you're at the pool and the breeze is great, the sun is still getting you. And if you are not used to the Florida sun, you are probably going to end up a lobster. And then your vacation is ruined. Bring sunscreen. If you don't like commercial sunscreen or your kids have issues with it, I do have a recipe for a homemade sunscreen that I really love. I'll put that link in the description box below. And Brandy, you could always check that nutrition store in Marion because the Gilead girls just took it over. And I don't know if they have sunscreen, but they've got tallow-based products. So you can go in there and see what Abby and Megan have for you if you don't want to make your own. Because it can be a little costly just to make your own sunscreen one time, but we use it all the time. And I like the stuff that I make. Everybody uses it on their face. I use it all over my whole body, but especially on the face because when the water gets it, it doesn't like dissolve and get in their eyes. And, you know, we're just trying to avoid meltdowns. So if you want to try your hand at making your own, the link is in the description box below for you. Otherwise, bring your own sunscreen and chapstick with SPF. Another thing that I would recommend is rash guards, especially in the summertime. But if you're not used to the Florida sun, a rash guard would be a good idea. We get the long sleeved with the hood. If your kids are going to be spending time in the ocean, which they might when you head over to Daytona for the week, that water reflects. One year we had Emily, we were just hanging out at the beach and she was in the water and she had her rash guard on and she never got out of the water. And I didn't think about, oh, she needs to reapply sunscreen. When she finally came out of the water, her face was so sunburnt. It was miserable for weeks. So I don't want that to happen to you or any of your kids. Just set a timer for sunscreen. Seriously, set a timer for sunscreen. Thank me later. You've driven all night, you've checked into the resort, you're hanging out by the pool. The question is dinner. And while you say, oh, we'll just go to Disney Springs and catch dinner, I'm going to caution you against doing that. First of all, it's not relaxing at Disney Springs, and the later it gets, the busier it gets. It gets very people-y in Disney Springs. And you guys have just driven all day, you're hanging out at the pool. There are other options. The resorts are going to have a food court, or you could go to another resort and do a quick service there. You could order pizza and just have it at your resort, like just chill out. Now, if you're insistent on going to Disney Springs for dinner, there are some places that we like, but like I said, it can be cumbersome and there could be long lines to get in, or you'd have to join a walk-up wait list if you want to, sit down inside. Some restaurants have that. Download the My Disney Experience app on your phone. You're going to be able to see all of the options in Disney Springs and all across the resorts. It really is a great tool, especially if you're planning meals. Now, my suggestion, and just knowing your kids, I'm thinking they might enjoy the Rainforest Cafe or T-Rex Cafe. Fun fact, those are actually owned by Landry's. And my friend told me about, you can join the Landry's email club or whatever, but there's also a paid membership to Landry's, and you can get discounts. There's a lot of benefits. I haven't personally checked it out, but there's also a Rainforest Cafe in front of Animal Kingdom. You don't have to get inside Animal Kingdom, and you could have the same experience with a lot less people, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And that's also Landry's. So I would check that out if that's something that you're thinking about. And for those of you planning a Disney trip and you're like, that's a great tip, Landry's also owns Yak and Yeti inside of Animal Kingdom. My friend Ron has said that he can book a reservation at Yak and Yeti just by being a Landry's member, even when the app shows there's no reservations available. So I might try that. I haven't gotten to the point of trying that out for myself because we usually just eat snacks and quick service, but it's on my list of things to do. Here's another fun fact. If you use the Fetch app, you can get a Landry's gift card on Fetch. Now, I use my Fetch points mostly for Disney gift cards, but if you know that you're going to go to Rainforest Cafe or T-Rex Cafe at one of the 3 locations in the Disney bubble, you could use it there. And if you don't end up going to any of those restaurants and maybe you decide you order pizza or whatever, Landry's owns a ton of restaurants. So the gift card's not going to go bad. You could also just get a Disney gift card and then use it, I think, mostly wherever you go. I think most of the restaurants in Disney Springs will accept a Disney gift card, but I'm not 100% about that. If you don't know what Fetch is and you're not already using it, please use my referral link in the description box below. That gives you some bonus points. It gives me some bonus points. Everybody wins. Fetch is an app. It's a marketing app is what it is. They are collecting data on where people are spending money. They give you points on every receipt. Sometimes they're bonus points if a certain merchandiser has said, if you buy this item, we'll give you bonus points. Most of my shopping is done at Aldi, so most of the time I'm just getting the basic points. It takes me about 3 or 4 months to get enough points for a $50 gift card, but that's still $150 that I didn't have to spend and I didn't have to budget for, so I'm totally fine with that. You might earn gift cards faster than I do. I don't buy a lot of name brand stuff. So just check it out. Use my referral link in the description box below and start getting those gift cards. I'm going to use my computer and we're going to go to the Disney website. We're going to start at Disney Springs and I'm going to show you some things here. You can take the bus to Disney Springs, but I like to park in the Lime Garage, which is kind of right in the middle, and I see there's an important message that the Lime Garage will be closed for maintenance. There's a couple times. I believe this is the Orange Garage, which is over by the AMC Theater. I don't usually park over here. Like I said, I like going here. This is the Grapefruit Garage, which is across the street, but there is a skywalk. So if you end up parking in the Grapefruit Garage, it's really not that big of a deal. You can just take the skywalk over. This is Disney Springs. When you come in from the resorts, you'll have buses right here, and kind of in between the Lime and the Orange Garage parking. You come in through Town Center. So it's a little hard to see, but your Rainforest Cafe. So once you come in from the buses, you go through security, and I think you come in here, or maybe they take you out over here. You have the T-Rex Cafe, which is right here. And there's a little store inside, of course. or you can cross this bridge, and here is the Rainforest Cafe, and there's a lava lounge. Those are your two options that the kids, I think, might enjoy. Both of them will have a walk-up wait list the day of, so you could always get onto the app. And if you decide, yeah, we are going to go ahead and go to Disney Springs and get dinner, you can see which one of those has availability for a walk-up wait list and do that, so you're not leaving your resort and just trying to meander around. There's a lot of restaurants here that I do enjoy. I mean, right here outside of the Lime Garage, you have the Polite Pig. That's one of our favorites. You kind of have to know what you're going for because it gets so crowded, which is why I would say probably skip it. I know that's not what you want to hear, but that's kind of my recommendation. Now, if you do end up venturing out and you just have to have the Dole Whip, the Swirls on the Water has, that's our Dole Whip stop whenever we go to Disney Springs. Check the app and they will show you what their flavor combinations are. Another one is, here's something too, maybe even Marketplace Snacks. If you look on your app, I don't know if it'll show it here. Oh, good, view menu, check that out. So you get those big bubble waffles, but they also have savory waffles. So you got hot honey chicken right now, bacon cheeseburger, barbecue brisket mac and cheese, and it's all in a bubble waffle. And then of course there's the strawberry or the chocolate. It's just a regular soft serve. You can see them there. So you've got this bubble waffle, you've got soft serve ice cream, and then, you know, strawberries for Minnie with these white crispy pearls, or Oreo cookies for Mickey. They're fun, they're huge, they're totally shareable. That's an option for something quick. But I just don't feel like you're going to want to leave the resort for the night and deal with the madness that is Disney Springs. I'm just saying, let's try something else here. I just did this yesterday and it worked great, and then today I couldn't figure it out. So if you go to the disneyworld.disneygo.com, go to things to do, go down to the bottom and hit map. This is where you would park at Animal Kingdom if you drive, but I would take the bus from the resort since you're staying on property. You could check your My Disney Experience app if you wanted to do a sit down and you wanted to do a Rainforest Cafe. There is one right outside here of Animal Kingdom. So you don't have to go into the park through the gates. You will have to go through security. But it's right here, and you're going to have a lot fewer people. It's not going to be as crazy. I think this would be a really good option. The only caveat is Animal Kingdom closes early. So if Animal Kingdom closes at 6 p.m. like it does today, then the buses to the parking lot are only going to run until 7:30. So if you jumped on at 4 o'clock and you said, okay, we're going to go do the Rainforest Cafe at Animal Kingdom, you joined the walk-up wait list, you got maybe a 5:30 or a 6 o'clock time, and yes, it's going to take you that long to get everybody out of the pool, get some clothes on, get to the bus, get over to Animal Kingdom. Add an hour to everything you think you can do because it takes a long time to get around in Disney. But you can go in here, you could do your sit down dinner, and if you don't get done until 90 minutes after the park closed, so that for today it would be 7:30, what you could do instead is, let's see, there is no resort close by. I thought there was. So if you take the bus over there, you would either have to make sure that you caught the last bus, and I would ask at your resort, when is the last bus going to pick up from Animal Kingdom, and make sure you make it out there, or you're just going to have to call Uber or minivan to get back to your resort because you will be stranded. And even if you park, there's no guarantee you're going to be able to park up close. You might be able to find your own location, but you could park yourself here. It's not so terrible in the Animal Kingdom parking lot. It's just an option to still have a sit-down meal. There's not a lot going on around it. You're going to have a lot less people. But I I don't want to recommend Disney Springs for you and your family on your arrival night just because I know how chaotic it is. It sounds like it should be simple. Oh, Disney Springs. There's a lot of different places to eat, but there's so many and there's so many people. It's really a recipe for disaster. So once you've decided what you're gonna do for dinner, it's time to get ready for your Magic Kingdom day. I was telling my friend Stephanie, who is a mom of many, about your plan, and she recommended having the kids sleep in their clothes. That way you can get up early, you can have everything packed except their toothbrushes that they need in the morning, but they're sleeping in their t-shirts and their comfy shorts that they're gonna wear all day at the park, and that just makes the morning move faster. I know with neurodivergent kids, sometimes that's not always easy, like they have to have the routine and structure and they have to sleep in certain things, but that was a tip from my friend Stephanie. She and I did a mom's trip, which I think you and Andrea and anybody else who wants to join us, we need to plan one. If you did not see my mom's only trip video, I will link that right here because it was just so much fun. You can really go to Disney and just focus on what you want to do and not, meet everybody else's needs. All right, you figured out dinner, bags are all packed up, your backpacks for the next day are all packed up, reusable water bottles. I like insulated water bottles. We'll get to that in just a second. Snacks for the day, protein snacks. We like peanut butter crackers. You can put some almonds or nuts or something in there, even like bags of beef jerky. You definitely want protein options in their bags. You could even bring Lunchables. Like, you don't have to eat meals in the park. You cannot bring bags of ice. You can bring like cooler packs, those little ice pack things, but you cannot bring bags of ice. And in Magic Kingdom, there's no self-service stations for ice or water anyway. We'll cover that in just a second too. So the water bottle that I prefer is Iron Flask. A friend of mine told me about it because I have water bottles and they were insulated, but they just weren't keeping the ice cold or the drinks cold. We were just having issues. So my friend told me that this is what they use. It's Iron Flask. I got it off of Amazon. I do have a link in the description box below. And I recently was accepted as an Amazon associate. So I don't know if I have a store or what, but I have to be responsible for 3 purchases here in the very near future. So if you're going to buy something off of Amazon that I recommend, please use my referral link. I just appreciate that. What I like about this, I like the wide mouth. Jaden has one that's a narrow mouth. I don't love the narrow mouth because the ice cubes, you can't always get them to fit in there and they also make a big mess. The Iron Flask comes with 3 different lids. So you can do without a straw, with a straw, which is what I have preferred, or you can do this one that just kind of screws on top. And yes, I have 2 of them and there's a reason why here. I don't love this one either, but some people do. So you could use that one. I drink a gallon of water a day. And when you're in Disney, I drink more, especially when it is really hot outside. And I'm talking, I'll pull the big one out for my park trips starting in about April. April last year was really hot. In the past, I think I waited till about May, but we were seeing 100 degrees in April last year. When it's getting in the 90s and triple digits, I pull out the big one because I drink this much water. The rest of the year, I would say probably October through March, April, I'll use the small one. This will be sufficient, but I do refill it a lot. Here's the thing about Magic Kingdom. It has the worst tasting water, and I don't know why. It makes me so crazy. You can always get free courtesy water anywhere in Disney, but there are no self-service stations in Magic Kingdom. And when you go to a quick service restaurant to get courtesy water, a lot of times they're just filling up a pitcher with water from the tap. They're not using the filtered spigot on the soda dispenser. It's real hit or miss. There are water bottle filler stations in Cosmic Rays, which I'll show you in a minute, but that is the worst tasting water ever. I try to avoid getting water in Tomorrowland. The futuristic water tastes gross. Get your ice and water. The food court will have a dispenser. You can fill it up with ice, top it off with water, and let it melt through the day. Although these iron flasks, the ice doesn't melt on me as fast. I mean, I've come through the whole day and I've still had ice in my bottle without putting more ice in it. So that's really kind of awesome. Highly, highly, highly recommend. And if you choose to buy one for yourself, use the link in the description below. Oh, and Iron Flask also has an accessory that I think is so important and so worth the money. They have their own bottle washer. Most water bottle washers that we have purchased do not have a handle that is way up above. So this just makes it easier. And you know me, I'm cheap. I didn't want to spend $11 or whatever this was on this bottle washer, but we use it all the time. We've gotten rid of everything else. We've got a stainless steel shaft, so it's not gonna, be plastic and broken. The bristles are great. It covers the full amount of the bottle. The handle's sturdy. Highly recommend. I will put this in the description. I'll figure that out. Just check the description box. We'll figure out how to get you one of these bottle washers. We are finally to your Magic Kingdom day. Can you believe it? Staying at a resort on Disney property, you are allowed to get into the parks 30 minutes before park open. That can be helpful. We've never been able to use that tool. My kids might get up at the crack of dawn any other time, but on the days that I want them to, they're gonna dig their heels in and we're not moving. So we've never pushed to use that. We're just gonna go on your time frame and we're gonna get there when we get there. Plus you have to check out, get the cars loaded. Here's another question for the travel agent. I know that when you're staying at a Disney resort, you do get free parking at the resort and you get free parking at the amusement parks. I mean, it should include your checkout day, but I don't know that 100%. So I would ask your travel agent about that. Regardless, you're going to drive to Magic Kingdom. But when you put it in your Google Maps, it's not Magic Kingdom. You are driving to the Ticket and Transportation Center. And here is where we are going to go back to our map. Welcome to Magic Kingdom, but this is not where you're starting. You are starting at the Ticket and Transportation Center. So we're going to move this map and I'm going to show you what this entails. You will be parking your vehicle somewhere in these parking lots. You will take a tram into the Ticket and Transportation Center, going through security, and then you will either take the monorail around and up to Magic Kingdom, or you will jump on the ferry boat. We personally love taking the ferry boat. And then you get to sail across the lagoon, or if you're taking the monorail, you go around this way, and you will end up at Magic Kingdom. This is why I tell you that from your resort to scanning your tickets at the gate of Magic Kingdom, it's going to be an hour. Just count on it. It's going to take you an hour. So now, welcome to Magic Kingdom. You get off the ferry boat on the monorail, you walk in here. Let me show you where this is just fun. Right here, this little green stripe here, that is where you scan your tickets and you get to walk in. You go underneath this building here through tunnels and you are standing on Main Street. How exciting. I just want you to take a look and take this all in. This is Magic Kingdom. You are probably not going to get to every land in one day. This is why I say focus on your top 3 things that you want to do 100%. You want to get these done. And then the rest of the day can be filled in around those 3 things. Those 3 things are your big rocks that you put in the jar first to make sure they fit. It's not that you're only going to get 3 things done. It's just those are the things we're going to focus on. And especially since you told me that you definitely want to see the parades, and it is parades, and you definitely want to see the fireworks. So those are really your top three, because there are three different parades that happen during the day in Magic Kingdom. Then you have the happily ever after fireworks. This can be overwhelming. But I'm going to give you some tricks now and some suggestions. First of all, once you get your account set up, text me, because we can link. I have you in my calendar for the dates that you are going to be here, and I might actually make it down here to help you navigate this nonsense. Okay. Your twins might actually qualify for the Disability Access Service. We have used it for both of our kids. The system has been changed, and frankly, they jacked it up, and it's a crapshoot as to whether or not they're actually going to get the Disability Access Service pass. This tells you what it is. The best way for me to describe it is that you can wait in line for an attraction without standing in line. Now, they have removed the ability to use the DAS on character meet and greets, and I don't even think you can do it for meeting Mickey in Town Square, but you can ask that question if that's something that you think your kids are going to want to do. Mickey can have like a 45-minute wait. That's the person who is awarded DAS in your party. The rule is that person plus 3 others. And since the twins should each qualify, that would cover your entire group for DAS. You wouldn't have to choose who gets to do what, which is a little insane, but whatever, Disney. When we used it, it's easy to focus on just like what's right in front of you. You don't have to focus on the most popular rides, which you also said that the twins would not ride anyway. If other people in your party wanted to ride the roller coasters and the twins were not willing to do that, then the other people would just have to stand in line. This is Space Mountain. The twins are not going to ride that. Little bit's probably not tall enough. Tron, same thing. They're not going to ride it and not tall enough. Over on this side, let's see, Tiana's Bayou has got a big drop. That's like the log flume at Six Flags. It's got a big drop, so they probably won't ride that. I don't know about the height requirements. You'll have to check on the My Disney Experience app. You can look at the height requirements. Big Thunder Mountain is still closed for refurbishment. I don't see that opening. They say it's going to open sometime in 2026, but the problem is, you see this green space right here in the middle? Yeah, that used to be the Rivers of America and Tom Sawyer's Island, and this is all a wall now right along Liberty Square and into past Adventureland and into Frontierland, because they are refurbishing this for some point in the future. It's going to be the new Cars Land, but seriously, it's going to take them like 4 or 5 years. I can't even, that's a whole nother conversation. There's also a Villains Land that's, I think, is happening behind Big Thunder, which I felt like that's why they closed Big Thunder down to begin with, because they started construction on Villains Land and it hasn't reopened. And they're saying it's going to reopen in 2026, but you're going to be able to see into that construction zone from Big Thunder. And so I'm not sure they're going to open it. I'm just saying. But anyway, your kids are not going to want to ride that. And then the only other one, which is the roller coaster, I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right behind the castle here. This is Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. It's a fun little roller coaster, but your twins probably are not going to ride it. The other thing that I would say don't do with your kids is Haunted Mansion. The first time Jaden rode that, he was a little creeped out. It took him like 6 months before he was willing to ride it again. I think it's great. We love going on it, but there's no need to traumatize your children. So you can stay away from Haunted Mansion, I would say. If the twins do get the DAS pass, because you're only allowed 3 people in your party along with the DAS holder, you're not going to be able to manage both accounts because you won't be on both accounts. One of the other adults will have to manage the other account. I don't recommend trying to learn how to toggle between 2 different DAS accounts on your My Disney Experience app. I have done it. It is possible, but I don't recommend you trying to do that. You walk in to Main Street, everybody's scanned in, and you just pull up the My Disney Experience app and you look at where you want to go, where you're headed. And it really is going to depend depend on when you get into the park, but let's just say that you make it there in time for rope drop. Let's say you are extra crazy and all the kids got it together and you made it into the parks to get early entry, even 8:30. Now the DAS isn't going to start working until park open, which would be 9 a.m. The only lands open for early entry is Tomorrowland over here on the right and Fantasyland, which is all this behind the castle. The major hitters, I guess, for people who want a rope drop is they will hit Space Mountain. That opens early. Tron does not open until park opens at 9 o'clock, but some people like to get in here and then go stand in line so that they're first in line. I mean, you're still standing in line and you're waiting. Whatever, man. You do you. Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is another big one that people like to hit for rope drop. Another one is Peter Pan's Flight. It's not because it's necessarily a thrill ride, but because the ride system doesn't allow as many people through in an hour, so it's just slower moving, and that's why it's always got a long line. And it's a really fun ride. Even if you don't get DAS, I don't see your crew just racing to one of these rides. I mean, the only thing you would do with the twins would be Peter Pan's. And I would say take this time when you first get in and just take it all in. Take in Main Street. Look at all of the buildings and take some pictures. Find a cast member in the green shirt and get pictures of everybody in front of the castle. There are other things to do as well when you first walk into Main Street, and your kids may see those and may want to. They've got the omnibus, which is a double-decker bus. They have the old-timey cars, and they've even got a horse and carriage that will drive you from Town Square here at the beginning and all the way up Main Street and put you out. I think it's somewhere around here in this circle. They make those stops and they let you out, and it's only a one-way trip. I think something you guys will all love is the Jungle Cruise. That's over here in Adventureland. It's all of this watery area here. That is just slow moving boat ride. It's full of dad jokes. It's fun. I think everybody's going to enjoy that. And it also typically has a longer wait. So it's usually about 50 minutes or so. So let's say you scan in whenever you get in and you decide we're all going to do Jungle Cruise and we have the DAS. You would get into your My Disney Experience app. You would select your DAS. You would find Jungle Cruise. If there's a 50-minute wait on Jungle Cruise, and this is what I'm talking about, where you wait in line without having to stand in line. You can make that reservation. So if you get in at 9 o'clock in the morning and there's already a 50-minute wait for Jungle Cruise, your return time is going to be around 9:45, 9:50. And you're still going to have to go through the express side to get in, so you don't just walk right on. So you're waiting, but you don't have to be standing in line with the kids who can't handle all the standing in line. So that's where it's handy and you can kind of take your time. And another benefit to DAS, we have had like a reservation for Peter Pan's Flight. Let's say it was 2 p.m. We decided we're going to do that. On the way to Peter Pan's, there's a meltdown. Somebody is throwing down and you have to stop and you have to find a quiet corner and you've got to de-escalate the kid and get your drink, get some snacks out. Let's get away from the people. Let's remove all the stimulation. And by the time you finally get back on track, it's 4 o'clock. Yes, that has actually happened to us. With DAS, it's okay. With Lightning Lane, the prepaid service, you have an hour return window. Now there's some information out there that you might be able to show up after your return time and the cast member will let you on. It's not always a guarantee. It's going to be based on the cast member. They may not let you badge in if you missed your Lightning Lane time. But with DAS, you always have that reservation until you use it. So if you have a reservation for a Jungle Cruise at 9:50 or 9:45 and it takes you until 11 o'clock to get there, that's fine. You can't make another DAS reservation, but you will never lose that one. And if you end up, let's say you're walking down Main Street and the kids decide, oh, we're going to Tomorrowland. There's something happening in Tomorrowland and they want to go over there and they see it. If you see something over there that has a longer wait and you wanted to do something over there instead, you can modify your DAS. You don't have to hang on to Jungle Cruise. I always tell people when you're using DAS, just focus on what's right in front of you, what's next. Don't worry about the most popular rides or what has the longest wait times. It will be a lot easier for you. You said that your priorities were the parades and the fireworks. So those are the 3 or 4 things that we are going to focus on. And the parades are a big deal because they happen in a certain area of the park and it will block traffic while the parades are coming through. Most of the parades start over here in Frontierland, right next to Tiana's Bayou. You can see my little pin there. They come out this door. They go all the way down Frontierland, Adventureland, up Liberty Square, and then they make a turn right here. They do not wave like that. They go across this bridge. They go into the castle, into the hub. They go around this side. Again, they drive in a straighter line. This is just for effect. They come all the way down Main Street, not on the sidewalk. The sidewalks are safe. And then they go around this hub and they come out there. Okay, so that's the parade route. By the way, sometime before your trip, you can open up your My Disney Experience app and you can go down to the Genie planning service. That's a free service. And you can select what day, which park, and then you can put the things that are the most important to you. I put in the Friends Cavalcade, the Festival of Fantasy Parade, and then the Disney Starlight, the Dream the Night Away, which is the nighttime parade, and of course, Happily Ever After. So we've got 4 priorities. The Festival of Fantasy Parade and the Starlight Dream, at least for the day that I've chosen, they only happen once a day. The Festival of Fantasy Parade, I think, is really only ever once. The Starlight might happen twice a day, but that's going to be more random. It doesn't always happen twice. So you want to make sure that you have an eye on that. If for some reason you don't put this in ahead of time, you can get up in the morning, get onto the app, and you can check the times for all of these so you know exactly when everything is happening. Back to our map. The Friends Cavalcade and the Festival of Fantasy Parade, they will start over here in Frontierland. But the nighttime parade starts here on Main Street and it comes down. So you might want to be in a different location. And you want to remember this route because if you are over here, let's say you're down here riding Pirates of the Caribbean, which is somewhere around here, that might be right there, and you want to get up to Small World, if you have to cross this parade path, you're going to be delayed and there's going to be a lot of people. Personally, for the daytime parades, I like to be over here because you get to see it first and then you can go on and go to your next thing. But you can't always plan that. Let's say you don't get into the park until like 10:30. You might catch the Friends Parade right here because you're still taking pictures and looking at everything. But if you can be in this area for either one of those, I just think these are better areas to wait. Main Street gets really busy, really packed. And of course they will block off roads. They'll put the tape down. It can be a little bit of a hindrance. This is why I say it really depends on when you get into the park because there's so many parades going on during the day at Magic Kingdom. All right, I've zoomed in a little bit because there's a spot that I really like. So the parade's coming down here and then it takes this corner turn, right? And it goes off into Never Never Land. This right here is one of those, what do they call them? It's like the public flogging area, I guess. Pillory. That's what it's called. I had to look that up. There's a platform here with like one step all the way around. I don't remember how we ended up there, but we ended up here and we sat here for the nighttime parade. Now you're at the end of the parade instead of the beginning, but you can see the floats coming once they cross that bridge. You can see them coming down and then they turn right in front of you. A good tactic would be to camp out here maybe 30 minutes before the parade starts, which the parade start time is going to be down in Main Street, and it's going to take a while to get to you. But you can pick up some food at Sleepy Hollow or even at Columbia Harbor House. Both of those are mobile order. You can camp the kids out here, give them a rest, have them sit down, somebody go pick up the food when it's ready. You can sit there and eat and just wait for the parade to come in. There's not going to be as many people there as there will be, say, in this whole area. This is going to be standing room only. You are going to be people to people. I don't know if everybody has to stand when the parade goes by, but I'm pretty sure they do anyway, whether they have to or not, but it could be the cast members come down and tell everybody to stand up. I know you have to stand up for fireworks, and it gets really crowded right there. Also, people like to think, oh, hey, Casey's Corner, they've got some tables and umbrellas here, or sitting in front of the Plaza restaurant. This gets so crowded, and like, this is stroller hell right here. During the fireworks, people will make a reservation and then get fireworks viewing and sit next to the windows, but you see nothing but people directly in front of you. You're not seeing a lot of the fireworks or the castle projection. I don't recommend that. And I know that you want to see it all. You can get a pretty good view of the castle, the fireworks. You're not going to see the full projection, and you're definitely not going to see Tinkerbell fly. Now, Tinkerbell doesn't always fly because it's totally dependent on weather and wind and whatever. But if Tinkerbell flies, you're really going to have to be here in this chaos to see it happen. I've had people tell me, like Cosmic Rays, there's some tables and outdoor seating out here, I believe. This is a pretty good area. You do have a lot of trees here, though, so I'm not sure. I've not checked that out. We're just talking about fireworks viewing right now. My personal favorite, because I don't have to see the projection show, you can hear everything all over the park. Like it's piped in everywhere. So the whole park is going to hear the show, Happily Ever After. You will see fireworks from pretty much anywhere. You're just not going to see all of them. But right across here from Ariel's, there's some benches right here. I had a really good view of the fireworks, and there were not a lot of people, and I could sit down on the benches. You're just not going to see the projection. So I guess it really just depends on how you're feeling at the end of the day, and if you really want to battle all the people and be in this hub area. So that's pretty much covering all of Magic Kingdom. And I know it's going to be like herding cats when you're there and you're only there for a day and you're trying to take it all in. So again, my suggestion is don't try to do everything. Slow down, walk around, enjoy the atmosphere, get pictures, maybe go meet a character, or stop and see the streetmosphere. We didn't even cover like the Dapper Dans, or there is the Magic Kingdom Philharmonic. It's like a marching band, and they'll walk through Main Street. Don't miss everything that Magic has to offer to race to a ride that you could get at a carnival. You know what I mean? Like, I get the theming and everything, but the theming is not just the rides they offer. The theming is also in all the buildings and everything that's going on, and the costumes of the cast members. Like, just take it slow and have fun with your kids, because I think you're going to love it. Now, I don't know if you're telling your kids that you're stopping in for a day at Disney or not. I usually recommend that people go onto the Disney Food Blog on YouTube and they look at the ultimate guides for the year that they're making the trip. I watched it, the ultimate guide for Magic Kingdom in 2026. And I don't know that all of it is really helpful for your specific trip, but it might be worth watching just to kind of get an idea of what the kids want to do. Do they want to meet characters? Do they really want to ride rides? I mean, Jaden, when we went to Magic Kingdom, we had watched videos, and there's challenge videos on there, like, I'm gonna ride every ride in Magic Kingdom. And so he was all excited about riding every ride. And then he shows up there and he's like, why are they all baby rides? because you know, and you've been to Six Flags with us. My kids have grown up and they did big roller coasters. He wasn't super impressed with the rides, and I don't know what kind of exposure your kids have had to any kind of rides, but they're fun for everybody. So if you would like to watch the DFB Ultimate Guide to 2026, I have all the Ultimate Guides on a playlist on my channel. I will link the DFB Ultimate Guide to Magic Kingdom right here for you, so you can go and watch that. Maybe have the kids watch it. It might be helpful, or it might just put too many options out there, so maybe you should watch it first before you let the kids watch it. So I've got a few suggestions of attractions that I think your crew would all enjoy. The first one I've already mentioned was the Jungle Cruise, and that's over here in Adventureland. You have Pirates of the Caribbean over here somewhere. I think it might be right there. Yeah, there it is. Pirates of the Caribbean is right next door. The shows, the Tiki Room, that's really fun. Although the kids may wonder, like, why did you take us here? And then Country Bear Jamboree is also over here. I think it's fun. I don't know that your kids would necessarily want to do it, but again, those are places where you could just go to sit down and kind of de-stimulate a little bit. The Swiss Family Treehouse, they can climb up the tree and see the Swiss Family Robinson treehouse, and then they climb down the tree, and you don't have to follow them. They're not going to get lost. They're going up, they're coming down. That might be a way to get rid of some energy. There are 3 rides in Magic Kingdom that are all very similar, and that is Aladdin's Magic Carpets right there. I think that would be a skip for us. There's a lot going on over here. But if you make it over to Storybook Circus, go all the way over here. Dumbo the Flying Elephant, it's the same ride, but also this tent right here. This is an indoor playground, which is kind of nice. There's some benches, an area for you to sit. This is really where the queue is. So you could enter here, let the kids run around, blow off a little bit of steam, and then you can choose to ride Dumbo, or you don't have to, but Jaden still likes to go into there. One of our favorite activities, if you just need to focus on something else and kind of get away from the crowds, you can do a treasure map. I think it's actually right here in this little hut. It's only during the day. I think it closes about 5 o'clock, but if you need a little break from people, you can go and do a treasure map. It's something to pass the time. It's something to keep kids occupied. It's something to, if we have to pivot to de-escalate, it's a nice little distraction. This is your Aloha aisle for your pineapple Dole Whip, if that's on your list of things to taste. Sunshine Tree Terrace, that's also a place where you can get some ice cream treats, some Dole Whip. They have the I Lava You float, which I think is fun. I know there's a lot of talk about the spring roll snack cart, but you cannot mobile order from the spring roll snack cart. And frankly, the spring rolls are small. They're not filling. They're expensive. I think you're going to waste a lot of time trying to get this snack that's just really not all that. I honestly have made them at home, and they're super simple. I did a short, and I will link that right here for you if you want to try to make them yourself, because you can make a lot more and actually feed your family if you just make them at home, as opposed to going and buying 2 little spring rolls for, it's like $10 now. Coming down Liberty Square, if you come down here where all the walls are now, there's not much happening in Liberty Square. You do have the Hall of Presidents. I don't know if that's something that you want to show the kids. I think it's cool. It's definitely worth doing at least once. And again, places to eat, Columbia Harbor House, Sleepy Hollow, you can mobile order on both of those. You can also mobile order on Sunshine Tree Terrace, which I found very interesting. But I would use that mobile order as much as possible. I would avoid Haunted Mansion for your people. And here's the Rapunzel bathrooms. If you, those get a lot of traction. People are like, oh, I gotta do that. Another thought for fireworks, if you guys are just like done, but you're hungry too, you could go into Columbia Harbor House, and they have seating upstairs, and then you could sit by the windows and watch fireworks while you're seated and eating, and you're inside. I don't think you're going to see the castle projection. Castle projection happens toward the front, and the fireworks are actually shot off back here. That's why you can see them from the windows. That's why I can see them from Ariel's grotto over here. But the castle, that's a whole nother thing. In Fantasyland, you have Peter Pan's Flight, which is the one I said. That's going to be a relatively longer wait. And it's a small world, usually not so much. That's kind of one of those that I gauge like how busy really is the park. If it's a small world is over 20 minutes, then it's probably a pretty busy day. Pinocchio's Village House is, your food you're going to find in Magic Kingdom is really, like DFB Guide said, it's safe. You're going to find chicken strips and pizza and hot dogs and hamburgers. So you're not going to have problems finding things for people to eat. And I don't think you have any food sensitivities that you have to stay away from. But Pinocchio Village House, you can get chicken strips and fries. You can sit down inside. I mean, that's pretty easy. Meeting the princesses happens back here. You've got the carousel. This right here in front of the carousel, there's usually a long wait for it as well. But this right here is the sword. And it's fun to try to pull out of the stone. I have a reel that I did of my kids trying to pull the sword from the stone, and I'm going to link that here for you because if you haven't seen it, it's really funny. It's one of my favorite memories, actually. Oh, there's Princess Fairy Tale Hall right here. That's where you can meet the princesses. Friar Nook is another place where you can mobile order hot dogs, corn dog nuggets, real safe and easy. Storybook treats, soft serve ice cream. Like there's nothing here that's going to be so over the top that the kids are just not going to want to eat it. So going through here and going behind Enchanted Tales with Belle, you're walking through the story of Beauty and the Beast with Belle, and it's kind of fun. Your kids might actually enjoy that. And Be Our Guest Restaurant is a sit down. You don't want to do that. Gaston's Tavern, they have a great cinnamon roll. They have the ham and cheese croissant. That's what we like to get. That's like our new favorite meal. And then you go around the corner here and you've got Under the Sea Journey of the Little Mermaid. So that's a little boat ride. That's going to be a safe one. You can also meet Ariel in her grotto over here somewhere. I don't even know where that's at. I thought it was right next door, but it's not being shown. Now, your Storybook Circus, this one really is fun. Not only do you have Dumbo and the Flying Elephant, you have a little roller coaster here that's outdoors and you can see it. The twins might, after seeing that, they might enjoy going on it. So the Barnstormer might be something for them. There's a little splash station. Pete's Silly Sideshows. This is where you're going to meet more of your characters. The other Minnie's got a place here, and Donald, Daisy, and Goofy, I believe. The Disney World Railroad. Because of all that construction that's happening over here, the railroad does not travel all the way around. You can see they just kind of faded the railroad track. It doesn't go over here anymore, but you can catch it either to or from town center, and it will only go over here to this side of Fantasyland. Or if you make your way over here and you decide you want to get back to Main Street, get on the train and take it back around. So it goes back and forth. That's an option for you. And it really depends on where you are and what you're doing and what time it is, because you want to make sure that you hit those parades. Walking through, you've got Mad Tea Party here. Those are just the teacups. Again, safe rides. This Tomorrowland Speedway is very much like the Moon Cars, but they're little race cars. Anybody can drive them. You don't really steer, you just push the gas pedal down and the cars go forward and they're guided. They can have a longer wait. I wouldn't wait in line for them, but if it's something that you want to do and either you have the DAS pass or you walk by and it's got a shorter wait, like 20 minutes or less, then yeah, hop on. Tron and Space Mountain, those are big roller coasters, so you would have to split off if the twins won't ride them. Little bit's not big enough. Tomorrowland People Mover, that one's fun. It just goes all the way around. and it's nice and relaxing. This Astro Orbiter, this is the one, it's the exact same ride vehicle as Aladdin's Magic Carpets and as Dumbo, but I don't recommend this one. First of all, you really can't see anything up there. You think you could get up there and you get a great view of the Magic Kingdom, but it's really not. You're seeing a lot of top of the buildings right around you. It kind of goes too fast to really look around. The line is down below and you are loaded into an elevator to go up on top of the building and then get onto the ride vehicle. It's just really slow and the line takes a long time. Even if you have DAS, it takes a long time. I just don't think it's worth it. So I would skip that one. If you're gonna do any of them, do Dumbo. If you don't make it over there, then maybe Magic Carpets. Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin is like a shooting game. It's down for refurbishment. I don't know when it's coming back up. So it might be available when you're there, it might not. Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor, that one's really fun. That's a fun show. Right now, it's closed for refurbishment, and I don't know why. I thought that's what I saw on the app, so just check and see. But that's definitely worth a stop in there. While you're waiting, it'll say text your jokes to this number, and the audience is part of the show. So they might zoom it in on you, and they might ask you a question. I hope you enjoyed my little self-guided tour of Magic Kingdom. Now let's get on to the end of the day. The fireworks are done, and here's where the madness begins. Everybody is leaving the park. I personally would not try to get out in that mess. Stay in the park, enjoy the atmosphere, get some more pictures, maybe sit down and get the kids something else to eat. Or if you decide not to see the projection show and you're in the back here of the park, maybe Columbia Harbor House, or you are back here at Ariel's, take your time and walk through the park and take advantage of nobody being around, because everybody is trying to get out of the park and now they just want to get to their car as fast as they can. If fireworks happen at 9 o'clock, maybe the park closes at 9:30 for regular guests. I think I looked up your specific day, and I believe they've designated the day that you're going to be there as a deluxe resort after hours. So there will be people in the park. They're ones that stay at the deluxe resorts, and they get 2 extra hours in the park. So I think Magic Kingdom closes at 9:30 on your day, and then at park close, everybody else is filtering out. The rides are going to remain open, but you have to show that you're staying at a deluxe resort. The shopping and everything, like, it's kind of a soft close. They start closing everything from the back of the park and they filter everybody forward. Your shops here along Main Street, the Emporium, all of these are going to be open later. I've mobile ordered Casey's Corner and picked it up on our way out. When you leave Magic Kingdom, there are 2 monorails. One is a resort monorail, and it's going to stop at all 3 of the resorts along the monorail route, and the other is the express monorail, which takes you directly to TTC. Sometimes coming in or leaving Magic Kingdom, the resort monorail is actually faster because there's a shorter wait. However, what I have seen personally, probably an hour, maybe a little even before Magic Kingdom closes, they are not allowing anybody on the resort monorail who aren't staying at those resorts, because that's a perk for the people who are paying the deluxe prices to stay there on that monorail. During the day, it's fine. If you parked at TTC and it was even 10 o'clock in the morning, you could take the resort monorail, and it might get you there faster because there's a long line of people taking the express monorail. So the line's shorter, it goes the same place, and it just stops. You don't have to get off, you just sit there. So sometimes the resort monorail is faster, but leaving Magic Kingdom right before park close, or especially after fireworks, you're not going to be allowed to take the resort monorail. The ferry boat is faster because the ferry boat will hold about 600 people, and I believe the monorail trains only hold 150. So take your time, get out of the park, choose whichever way you want to go, get back to TTC, get on the tram, get in your car, and then you still have 2 hours to drive to Daytona. Girlfriend, that is a long day. Make sure you bring your snacks and your caffeine. I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, would you please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when I put up a new video. And could you share this video or my channel to a friend who's also planning a Disney vacation? I greatly appreciate it. Well, I don't know about you, but I had a lot of fun. I think maybe I should do this for other people. I know you, Brandy, and I know your kids, but if there's other people out there just watching and kind of eavesdropping into our conversation, would this be helpful for you? Is this something that you would want me to do? Because I kind of enjoyed it. It was a little bit of a challenge. And I also got to look at the parks through new eyes, because now when I go, I've got certain things that I do and I'm like, oh, I want to try something new, and I'll choose one or two things, but I don't really care if I ride all the rides. I don't care if I ride any rides. A lot of times I don't ride any rides. I'm just walking around and enjoying being inside the Disney bubble. So it really was fun planning for your first time in Disney. If you made it to the end of this video and you thought it was helpful, drop a thanks Brandy in the comments below. We'll see you on my next video.